We can do it. Yes, we can. We can change things throughout the land.
I'm as mad as hell.
But we all
I'm not
must
gonna take this anymore.
lend a hand. We can do it. Oh, yes, we can. Oh, your neighbor over there, a bit bewildered, but he cares. He just doesn't know what to do. Join together and then they'll be two. There are others all around, scattered throughout the town. Reach out and you will see your numbers swell to 3. We can do it. Yes, we can. We can change things throughout the land, but we all must lend a hand. We can do it. Oh, yes, we can. Now together you form a chord, and you're eager to find some more. You start knocking on other doors, and before long you're up to 4. As your numbers begin to grow, you're expanding what you know. You're a movement when you reach 5, and now watched by the FBI. We can do it. Yes, we can. We can change things throughout the land, but we all must lend a hand. We can do it. Oh, yes, we can. You may ask, what can one do when the problems seem so huge? Start to learn, work, my friends. Keep your eyes on the prize to the end. Cause the problems can all be solved with dedication and a little resolve. Obstacles slowly dissolve when we all just get involved. We can do it. Yes, we can. We can change things throughout the land, but we all lend a hand. We can do it. Oh, yes, we can.
Uh-oh. Let me see. I'm not on there. Anyway, welcome to our show, folks. And Kevin, take it away here.
Betcha. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to truthversusnews.inc. Boy, I'm so excited to be here in 2012, the very first show of 2012. We've got some neat guests that are coming up. We're going to start with one in just a minute, but I just wanted to remind you that this show is going to be about solutions. We're going to talk about miracles. We're going to talk about things that can actually be done to help fix and change and make our world a place where children grow up, like my son Corey, who's here today, like Keith Younghammer. We're going to make this a world where kids can grow up and have a wonderful time. We're so excited to open the show with a call-in from my dear friend Francis Ailey. Francis has designed the Fourth Corner Exchange at fourthcornerexchange.com. It's an alternative currency system, and we are going to get to hear a little bit from him about it. How's the technical? We're still working on technical.
Okay.
We're good. Can he hear us, and can we hear him?
Go ahead, Francis.
Hi there.
Hi, is that as loud as he'll get for us?
I can get it louder.
Yeah, we need to hear him. I'd like to hear him a little better.
Go ahead, Francis.
Hi there.
Hi, Francis. Tell us a little bit about Fourth Corner Exchange. We've got a picture of you that's going to go up on the screen here.
Okay. Fourth Corner Exchange is an alternative monetary system. There have, over the last 25 years, been many complementary currencies and community currencies and local
Can you
currencies
get him louder?
that have come into existence. But we are an alternative monetary system, so we share some of the goals and aims, but we've got a different long-term agenda.
Okay.
I need him louder if I could.
Go ahead.
Hey, thank you, Francis. You're the first time since I've been on the show that we've tried to call in, so forgive us if there's a few little technical difficulties. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I really can't hear you very well.
Oh, good. Can he be louder for me, for us?
He's fine.
I can't hear him.
Go ahead.
I can't hear him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's about it.
That's all we get?
Okay.
All right, so when did you start Fourth Corner Exchange, Francis?
Go
Fourth
ahead.
Corner Exchange came into existence in 2002 when I myself and a group of friends sat down to talk about what we were going to do when the next economic crash occurred. And we spent 2 years talking about our options, and we decided to create an alternative monetary system that would serve the needs of the people as opposed to the corporations when the crash happened. And we started trading in January 2004, and we've been trading continuously since.
Wow. And where have you traded? I've heard things about Bellingham and Bainbridge, and I've heard you're doing some stuff in other countries now. What's going on with that?
Yes, we started in Bellingham with just 12 members in 2004, and we have gradually expanded. So we're in many places now. We have members in many places in Whatcom County, Skagit County. We also have a sub-branch, a local group in Port Townsend, another smaller group in Port Angeles. We've got groups in Seattle, Bainbridge Island, Tacoma, and many other places in Washington State. And in the last 12 months, we've been expanding to outside of Washington State. So now we have members on the East Coast, in New York and Virginia, and we also have people in California, Colorado, and a couple other places.
That's great. And what was the deal? I heard Michael said something about Portugal or Iceland, or what was that?
Oh, yes, I'm in correspondence with people in Portugal, Spain, Italy, France, Germany, and Norway, and a couple other people in Sweden who are interested in our model. Because we're not a complementary currency, we're actually a complete and fully developed replacement for the mainstream monetary system. They're really interested in the model, and I'm in correspondence with people in those countries.
That's exciting. Now, give us just a brief overview. What is the model? How does it work? It's web-based,
really
right?
It's really very simple. When you sign up to become a member, you effectively become part of our cooperative economy. And we run this cooperative economy very differently from the mainstream competitive economy. People are much more inclined to be helpful and to assist you and to look for a win-win deal as opposed to just be selfish and greedy. So you start with an account that starts at zero, and you can earn life dollars and spend life dollars from that account. You don't have to earn before you spend, though, and that's one of the unique features. The life dollar is valued as 1 hour of time in your community at a living wage. And that means that people value life dollars slightly differently depending on where they are on the globe.
And also depending on whose hour it is, I would assume that a doctor's life dollar would go for more life dollars on sort of a natural exchange system?
Good question. We don't legislate that everybody's time is worth the same. So you can charge any number of life dollars per hour for your goods and services to another member. And the deal is completely between the two members. They negotiate how much the goods and services is going to be charged for, and you can actually do deals with other members where you use national currency in combination with life dollars. So you can do 100% life dollar exchange, or you can do an exchange where you use part national currency and part life dollars. But we don't legislate the value of the goods and services that the members are exchanging. That's entirely up to the members.
Wonderful. We did a lot, this is sort of a conspiracy realist show that I'm getting to take the helm of for a little bit and enjoying. So we've done a lot about, the last show last year we talked about what we wanted to get rid of, and I decided that the two, it was sort of like a parent has to get rid of number one and number two when they have a child. And so number one and number two, I decided were cheating and stealing, and that the secret code words for that were privatization and deregulation. And we talked a lot about the privatization of the money supply. It sounds as if Fourth Corner Exchange is a re-democratization of the money supply.
It most certainly is. I totally go with you there on the privatization part, because the bankers have a private monopoly on the money creation process, and that locks out any kind of economic democracy right at the grassroots. So effectively, people are not working within a free market system. Everybody is told that they are, but the reality is that we're not. And this means that people don't have control of their own economic destiny, which is ridiculous and insane and totally unacceptable. So yes, we are reestablishing a free market system, and we have reintroduced economic democracy, and we're giving our members the power to create currency, money, as and when they need it in order to complete their transactions. In other words, we are a monetary system designed to serve the people instead of a monetary system that's designed to serve the bankers.
And real quick, is your website Four Corners Exchange or Fourth Corner, or what is it?
Fourth Corner.
Fourth Corner. Okay.
The website
okay,
is
good.
fourthcornerexchange.com, but you can also go to lifedollars.org. They both end up in the same place.
Okay, well, just for folks watching, the graphic is there. He got it. Fourthcornerexchange.com.
Yeah,
it's better now.
okay.
And that was quick. He had fixed
Yeah,
the graphic for us.
yeah.
And or lifedollars.org. People who've been watching this show are going to be pretty hip, just like Francis. I know that the people in the Occupy movements. I've been involved in Seattle and Everett. They are really, really aware of the truth behind the Federal Reserve and the fractional reserve banking system. And it reminds me of that giant computer that Goldman Sachs has sitting next to the stock market that steals a little bit off the top every time of every stock trade, and they're the only ones allowed to do it. That's sort of what the monetary system that we have to deal with now does. It just steals because it creates money out of debt.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And we're trying to address that whole scenario and the monopoly that the bankers have on the money creation process. I mean, this is a big question, and it actually goes back 300 years to the creation in 1694, the Bank of England. I think the Fed is part of that system, but the bigger problem goes back at least 300 years or more. And there have been some really outspoken monetary reformers. I mean, people like Vincent Vickers, who used to be a director of the Bank of England, who spent the latter part of his life speaking against the bank-issued monetary system. And a lot of this, the critics of the Bank of England and the Federal Reserve and the bankers' monetary system have been, they haven't been given a voice. I won't say they've been silenced, but they certainly have not been given a voice and a fair hearing. And I'm very much in favor of re-examining this whole monopoly that the bankers have and challenging their power. That's what I'm into.
That's exciting. If you were to recommend some sort of, we've been recommending Ellen Brown's Web of Debt. Are there links on your website to interesting documentaries or stuff about currency? I mean, you sound so knowledgeable. Where would you send us to learn more?
The first thing to do is to go and watch a video called Money as Debt. It's a 47-minute animated cartoon video that explains what is going on and how money is created as debt. And the second thing to do is go to the Money Fix website and watch the film called The Money Fix. That is longer. It's much more in-depth. I'm actually in that.
The Money Fix.
Film. I was interviewed for it along with a whole bunch of other people, some of whom were monetary reformers like myself. And that talks about some of the options we have. So those are the first two things to do. And they're available on the website, and you can watch them for free. I believe one or both of them are on Google, so you can actually go and watch them.
Great. Well, on the rest of our show, this is the first show of the new year, we're going to be talking about democratizing important things, energy especially. We're going to be talking about democratizing food. We're going to be featuring Will Allen's aquaponics. We're going to be talking about Andrea Rossi's new ECAT, his cold fusion, or his, I think they're using a different term, but it's really basically cold fusion device, and and the money problem. So thank you for starting off the show so wonderfully and being the very first guest that I've had since I got to take the helm of the show.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's an honor to be your first guest.
Oh, you betcha. I look forward to. And how's the database coming? I'm going to urge you on air here. How's it going?
Oh, the new database is coming along quite fine. I've got some help with some other programmers in Seattle, so we're hoping in a month or two we'll be launching a brand new website, which will be lifecurrency.org.
Oh, wonderful. Lifecurrency.org. Okay, we're going to keep our eyes on that and hopefully have you back and maybe even Skype, or maybe you'd want to come into the studio if you're ever in town.
Oh, I'd love to come into the studio.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yay, a live guest. My first one of those too. All right, Francis, give our best to your family.
Will do. Thanks a lot.
You bet.
I hope your
Now,
life money exchange blooms like this flower.
Yeah, I like that idea. Did Francis gone? Did he catch that? Oh, I'll have to be sure and tell him when the show's going to air.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's.
Thank you very much.
In the way that's democratizing the currency. There are other ways and other solutions. One of the big ones is an infrastructure bank. And can we get on my computer here? How are we?
I'm on there.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay, good. Have you got a good one? Okay. Well, we're gonna play this now. This is a fun one, and I've got my power on. Okay, here we go.
Square it up.
Oh, it's on. Yeah. Oh.
Square it up. Where's the sound?
Uh-oh. Oh, sound messed up. Hold tight. Okay, we're gonna redo. Hold on. So Bob Hasegawa is working as our state representative, and he is working on a state infrastructure bank like North Dakota has, and it's an incredible idea. And we're going to explain a little bit. We're going to play a little video, then explain a little bit more about it. Let's see if this will go now. Hooray! We have technical opportunities, don't we? I think it's going to work now. Uh-oh. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let's see if it's this. Uh-oh. My little speaker's gone sour, so I'll put this here. Here we go.
That are issued by the banks. And a life dollar is valued at 1 hour of time.
California's a failure because we haven't got a bank.
What would you do with a bank if you had one?
If California had a bank,
We could rightly use what's ours to cultivate the flowers and clean our septic tank. We could trade unemployment for service and enjoyment if we only had a bank. When we're stuck and need some credit and Wall Street says forget it, we won't be in the tank. We could pass on lesser offers, borrow cash from our own coffers if we only had a bank. Oh, why, tell me why, the economy hit the floor. We're sinking lower than we sunk before, and all the jobs, they've gone offshore. We can stimulate production, construction, and instruction by standing for this plank. Just 11 million voters will be like North Dakota. We'll finally have a bank.
Bank of North Dakota keeps the state solvent and even growing while other states struggle with recession. North Dakota has the nation's lowest unemployment and foreclosure rate, largest budget surplus, and the only state-owned bank.
We'll finally have a bank. A bank.
Yay! So what he's talking about, what they're talking about is a state infrastructure bank. And Representative Hasegawa, do you have anything you want to say? I'm going to test my little, I have my sound system. Since we haven't, I'm going to see if mine will work with Bob Hasegawa's thing here. because I would like for us to hear a little bit from our representative who is helping us to create a state infrastructure bank. Let's see if this, I'm still having that dreadful sound problem. Okay.
Ready?
Now, let's see what he says.
Fundamentally,
There we go.
to me, it's like a no-brainer. I've looked and looked, and
Oh,
No, it's okay. I'm just going full screen. Sorry. Let's hope that doesn't.
I've looked and looked, and I don't really see a downside to it, frankly. So the concept is right now, when the state collects your tax dollars that you pay sales tax to, 6.5% of that goes to the state of Washington. The rest of it goes to local governments. So that state's portion of the taxes that you pay goes into a bank account that's held at the Bank of America. So that money is churning constantly, so the state never has a really deep bank account. Even though our biennial budget is about $32 billion, that's how much is actually churning through that account in a biennial period. So the thought is, why should we let Bank of America make money off of our money? Why don't we create our own institution? We make money off of our money, and then we still control the money, so we can use it as leverage to get our economy going back in our local communities again. I mean, it just makes all the sense in the world. That's the concept. Economic development tools, smart use of taxpayers' dollars for the taxpayers. But really, the vision is over the long run. So the model is, there's one state in the country, you probably all know that. North Dakota has its own bank, right? They're 91 years old now. If we can look down the road 91 years from now and do as well as the Bank of North Dakota has, even though it's had its own trials and tribulations over the period, we will have amassed such a capital base for our children and our grandchildren that they could survive economic depressions like what we're going through right now. So if you look at any other developing country in the world, the reason that they're able to develop is they have their own banks. You look at Japan, they're going to be able to rebuild after their disaster over there because they can leverage their money back into their own economy. You look at Brazil, India, China, Germany. They all have their own public institutions that the people belong to the people. So it's one of those no-brainer kind of things. Unfortunately, there still are a couple of people who don't think it's necessarily in the state's best interests, or maybe not in their own best interests. I'm not sure.
There are some people that think that's not in the state's best interest or on best interest, but those people would be paid by the banks and lobbying for the banks and the bankster gangsters themselves. So think about it. A state infrastructure bank, Linda Boyd, who's been working with Representative Hasegawa, estimates that we're talking about $960 million a year. If the money, the billions and billions that go into Bank of America, that it then uses were to be used for infrastructure. And imagine, did you find that, Winco Foods? Yeah. Yeah, so imagine if when we democratize the workplace and do something like Winco Foods up in, where are they located? In, is it Everett or Mill Creek? It's not too far from me. It's an employee-owned business. So instead of some capitalist or some bankster making money off people's labor, if we brought people's labor back and used the state infrastructure bank in order to support that, can you imagine how wonderful that would be? Well, you got something to say, buddy?
Yeah, I was just wondering, who are these bankster gangsters? Like, you keep calling them that, but I want to know actually who they are. What do you mean by them?
At the moment, they're a group of foreign, international, very, very rich families. And they own the international banks that own the Federal Reserve. They have so much money and so much capital that they're able to use that capital to push around people economically. And in essence, they've set up a system that we talked about in the other things of debt slavery. But that's what we're going to free ourselves from in this brand new year, 2012. And it gets more exciting because the I want you to know that the rabbit hole goes very deep. There's a brand new movie out, and you want to be prepared to really look at what could happen if we had limitless free energy. Just picture that for a minute. Take a deep breath. And picture a little box outside your house, and this box runs your greenhouse and your car, and there's no more oil having to be shipped over. There's no more wars for oil because we have released the free energy technologies. You ready on this one on my computer?
Yep.
Okay, let's do this one. Let's see if it's out. I hope it runs. This one's exciting. This is for the movie Thrive. Out in movie theaters.
My name is Foster Gamble, and I have spent nearly a lifetime trying to figure out what happened that could account for the staggering agony and deprivation on this planet. I set out on a journey, seeking to answer questions like, is it even possible for humans to thrive? I found a code, a pattern in nature that's been embedded in arts, icons throughout the centuries.
Yes, there have been crashed craft and bodies recovered.
But who do you tell that you were involved in a UFO incident without them looking at you like you ain't wrapped too tight?
It's not etched into the rock, it's not carved, it's burned into the atomic structure in some extraordinary way.
I believe that they're giving us a model for accessing energy in a clean, safe, limitless way that could completely revolutionize the way all people live.
Right here in this toroid, we have enough energy to transform the entire Earth. And that's not just a theoretical statement, it's literally true.
The energy is extracted from the fabric of the space around us, which means it cannot be metered. That is a direct threat to the single largest industry in the world, energy.
The suppression of UFO phenomena is hand in hand with the suppression of so-called free energy.
An elite group of people and the corporations they run have gained control over not just our energy, food supply, education, and healthcare, but over virtually every aspect of our lives.
The way the system of medicine is set up, medical education is funded by pharmaceutical companies.
We have a privately owned central bank system disguised as a government-owned system.
There is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take.
It gives them the ability to print money in a way that the insiders are protected and everybody else is trained.
No matter where you go in the world, he who controls the money controls the world.
The time has come to say enough. There is another way.
If you want alternative energy, you don't ask an oil economy to produce it for you. We have to produce it.
The power of the internet enables us to share the depth of this research.
There is an extraordinary, fierce group of people who are taking this on.
We can make a real difference right now.
The simple power of truth.
We're not nearly as insignificant in our impact as we think we are.
There is a force that's more powerful, and that's the power of the people.
We can create a world where people can thrive.
Thrive. What on earth will it take? Be a part of the conversation. Be a part of the solution.
ThriveMovement.com. Imagine, okay, it's time to go all the way down the rabbit hole. It was 25 years ago that I first met William Cooper, and I was a teenager, and he was giving lectures in Los Angeles, and former Navy intelligence officer, and he was spilling the beans about what's really going on the planet. I wrote a song. I'm a songwriter. I wrote a song, and he liked it so much that I got to sing it for his lectures. Now, they began spilling the beans a while ago. You saw Stephen Greer on there. Yes, the rabbit hole is that deep. Yes, ETs are real. I don't know if you noticed passing by on that there was Edgar Mitchell. astronaut, Apollo moonwalker, and astronaut Edgar Mitchell is coming forward along with 5 other astronauts and hundreds of high-level people to say that that they're telling us the truth about ETs for one reason. And they say so in the Disclosure Project, disclosureproject.org. What they say is, we're only telling you about ETs because you won't believe us that they're hiding free energy from you unless we show you that they're hiding something this massive. So if you look at what's going on the planet, there's been a massive cover-up of the ET phenomenon for the basic reason of keeping the oligarchy in power and keeping us from discovering the free energy. In the last show, if you watched last week's show, we showed you a piece from the Electric Universe, Thunderbolts of the Gods. It's an amazing documentary about how we've literally been told a lie about how the universe works for 100 years to keep Nikola Tesla's theories from being used to create free energy. When you talk about thriving, when you talk about the world thriving, imagine what energy democratized would do. Imagine that you could desalinate all the water you wanted. That's just energy intensive. Pull the salt out of all the seawater you wanted, pump it into the deserts, and bloom the deserts. Many of the deserts that are on this planet used to be forests, they've found. The desertification of the planet would end apace. If we democratize the production of hemp paper, for instance, and we can grow hemp easily, not marijuana, although we're for that as well, but its distant cousin hemp has been kept from us because it would be so useful in keeping us from cutting down trees. But imagine if you had all the energy that you wanted, and you could, in your own backyard, do something like Will Allen did in his backyard, and where I'm learning how to work with the technology here, but here we go. Let's listen to Will Allen talk about what you can do with energy in your backyard to feed yourself and your family all year long.
My vision really has always been that every person on earth should have access to the same healthy food. I grew up on a farm right outside of Washington, D.C., so I've always been involved in agriculture. We're a year-round food producer. We're growing this kind of stuff. We're the largest year-round producer in the state of Wisconsin and maybe one of the largest in the Midwest, and we're a nonprofit. So we're able to grow throughout the winter inside these greenhouses without heat by using the compost piles as the heating source. This is a worm depository where we're growing biomass of worms. These worms are kind of the lifeblood of our growing. On the one side, we've got 10,000 tilapia in there in warm water, and there's the heater that heats the water, that heats the entire greenhouse in the wintertime. And then we've got lake perch grown in cold water over here, when you can't commercially fish for them in Lake Michigan that's mercury contaminated. We're able to grow these, and these fish runs, one pump operates this entire system. We lift water up, gravity takes it this way on both levels, and it drops back into the system. So this is a very efficient way of growing food. This is ag of the future.